Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन घोरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः Hare Krishna. Once again, welcome all the devotees for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. So we are discussing on the topic of Prahlad Maharaj teachings. So last week also we discussed. So one minute. So can someone?
Nine type, nine types
So,
of devotion. G pranams.
yes,
Nine types of devotion we discussed.
yeah. 9 types of devotion we discussed. Yes. Anything else? What we discussed?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Mataji.
Puna Puna Sarvita Sharvanam. Prahlad
Hmm.
says you are not able to know about Krishna is because of your uncontrolled senses and
Hmm.
repeatedly chew that which already has been chewed.
Correct. Very nice. Yeah. Anything else we discussed? What else we discussed? So Hiranyakashipu is asking Prahlad, what is the best teaching, right? And when Prahlad Maharaj says that you have to do devotional service, then Hiranyakashipu did not like that, right? So he actually accused the Sandha Namarka for teaching devotional service to Prahlad. So he was thinking Sandha Namaka is the one who actually spoiled Prahlad. Hmm? So Prahlad Maharaj says, Matirna Krishna, because your mind is not fixed on Krishna, you cannot understand. Hmm. So we should understand. And then Prahlad was further telling all the instructions to him. Hmm. There is some message is coming asking devotees want to join. It is they're not able to join.
I'm admitting
Actually,
all, Prabhu.
yeah, okay. You're admitting. So better the link should be linked to whoever can join without any permission to be better. Okay. So Prahlad Maharaj, he explains that how devotional service to Krishna is the key process. Then we discuss the different reasons why Krishna cannot be understood by different people because of the material coverings, kama, lobha, mada, matsarya, like that. Krishna, he reveals only to the devotees. Krishna does not reveal to everyone. Naham prakasha sarvasya. So therefore we need to hear to parampara to understand about Krishna. The key message is we have to hear through a proper resource, proper source. So we should approach with faith and seva and humility. Then it is possible for us to understand about Krishna. Right. Okay, so now after hearing from Prahlad, again Sanda and Amarka took Prahlad and taught him different politics and different subject matter. And then again, he wanted, they brought Prahlad to Hiranyakashipu. Again, Hiranyakashipu asked the same question. That time he told about the 9 process of devotional service. So when Prahlad Maharaj heard that, I'm sorry, the Hiranyakashipu heard Prahlad Maharaj's statement, then actually he got very wild because Prahlad said, you have uncontrolled senses and therefore you are repeating the same enjoyment. Puna punascharvita charvananam. Therefore, your attraction for Krishna is not awakened. Hmm? So, for you, for such kind of people like you, either by your own effort or by the teaching of others, it's very difficult for them to understand about Krishna. And he said, you are like a blind leader, and you are following. And the people who follow you, such kind of people, they'll also follow and fall in the ditch. And then he said, your real happiness comes through serving Vishnu. So therefore, it is not possible for you to be happy in this material world. When Hiranyakashipu heard, he got really wild. He was so angry, he threw him off his lap onto the ground. And eyes became red like a copper. And immediately he told his servants, "Oh demons, kill him immediately. He should be killed." Right? Although Prahlad is one son, Hiranyakasipu was so angry because Prahlad was talking about Krishna, his enemy. So then Hiranyakashipu, what is he saying? He gives an analogy. He says that the medicinal herb, even though it is in the forest, it is beneficial, so it should be carefully preserved. And he says that even if a person is born from an outside family, not from the same family, but if he is favorable to that family, he should be protected. And then he gives the analogy that if the hand or leg is got diseased or poisoned or got infected, then that part should be removed, even though it belongs to the one's own body. So he is giving this analogy for what? Because Prahlad is own son, but he is behaving like an enemy. He is supporting his enemy. So therefore, his justification for killing Prahlad is that his justification for killing Prahlad is that because he is born from my family, he is my son. Although he is born as my son, since he is in favor of my enemy, he should be killed. So it is just a politics. Whoever is favorable, you accept them. Whoever is not favorable, kill them. So that is politics. So there is no consideration of anything, truth or value in that. Hmm. So Prabhupada writes in the purport how a devotee should handle things of this material world. Because in the material world, always there will be some kind of harassment. Just because you are a devotee, it doesn't mean that you will not have any difficulties. Hmm? So he will be harassed. In the history also, if you see, we see in the case of Prahlad, although he's a devotee, there is no fault on him. But yet, he was harassed by his own father. Same way, any people who are practicing Krishna consciousness or preaching Krishna consciousness, although there is no fault on them, they will be harassed by so many people. Just because he is chanting Hare Krishna, he is talking about devotion to Krishna, he will be harassed. So that is the nature of this world. So how a devotee should handle? Prabhupada says in the purport that a devotee should be humbler than a grass and more tolerant than tree. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. And one should be focused on devotional service. The grass, so many people are trampling on the grass, but the grass does not protest. Same way the tree is throughout the year it is standing in the all kinds of climatic conditions, but yet the tree is giving fruits for others, serving others without any difficulties, taking all the difficulties but serving for the others. So that is the nature of the devotee. A devotee should be always compassionate and should be tolerate the difficulties of this material world, but makes an attempt to is always a well-wisher. He makes an attempt to preach to others. So that is the nature of the devotee. So in the purport further, Prabhupada says that that Hiranyakashipu, just because his a part has become septic, it should be amputated to save the body. Hmm. So here we see Hiranyakashipu became an enemy of his son. So Sanakya Pandita also advises that a devotee should normally give up the company of non-devotees and keep company with devotees, because the non-devotees, they are always envious of the devotees. Hmm. So therefore, it is advisable for the devotees to keep away the envious people and preach to the general mass of people who are neutral. Hmm. So that is the advice given. But in this case, Prahlad, he cannot reject because his father itself is so envious of him. Hmm. So Prabhupada write that one have to take tapasya or penance or austerities to realize the self. Because even in spiritual life, that if one wants to be a devotee, or self-realized person, he has to take some austerities on difficulties. Nothing is easy in this material world, right? We have to take some efforts, take some difficulties. Although Kali Yuga, it has made spiritual life is very simple. One has to only chant Hare Krishna. Minimum austerities only is required. Spend time to chant Hare Krishna, be in the association of devotees, hear about Krishna Katha. That much only is required. But for that also people give all kinds of excuses that they are not able to do it. So Hiranyakashipu finally concluded this Prahlad is my enemy and he cannot be controlled. And further he says that a yogi, one who is claimed to be a yogi, if he does not control his senses, then he cannot progress in spiritual life. See, Hiranyakashipu is a very knowledgeable person. He knows all these things. And he is misinterpreting and he is using it for his own favorable. Although he himself is not able to control his senses, he is becoming so angry on Prahlad, who, who is not at all of any fault at all. And now he is saying that because Prahlad cannot be controlled, he is an enemy and he should be killed. So this is how demons they twist the real purport or meaning, and then they make it suitable for their own favorable situation. So therefore, his conclusion is that don't think that he should be killed immediately. Prahlad should not be given any excuse because he is my son. That is what his conclusion. So then all the demons, they started, the Rakshasas, who are the servants of Hiranyakashipu, they tried to kill Prahlad using all kinds of weapons. But Prahlad, he was completely helpless. He cannot do anything. He just dependent on Krishna. Completely, he just thinking of Krishna, he just sat down. So all the demons, they used their weapons to attack Prahlad, but he could not be done anything. He was saved by Krishna. Hmm? So, Mare Krishna Rake Krishna Mare ke. If Krishna wants to protect anyone, nobody can kill him. And if Krishna wants to kill someone, nobody can protect that person also. So these demons and Rakshasas, they are so powerful and they had all kinds of weapons. But still, Prahlad could not be harmed. He was protected by Vishnu. Hmm? So he was undisturbed, fully engaged in meditating upon Sri Krishna. Therefore, Krishna promises in Bhagavad Gita that my devotee will never perishes. So what Prahlad can do is just a 5, 6 year old boy, and he doesn't have any physical power to protect himself. But since there was no fault on him, he was completely dependent on Krishna. None of the Rakshasas could harm him. So therefore, Prabhupada says a devotee is always protected by the Supreme Lord. He is always protected by Govinda. Because, like we see in the case of Pandavas also were harassed in so many ways. They were put into so many difficult situations. But Krishna protected all his devotees. That is his promise. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Kaunteya pratijanehi name bhakta pranashyati. That my devotee will never perishes. So this is the um, guarantee, promise Krishna himself is giving, and through Arjuna is asking Arjuna to tell. So we have to understand that there is no protection for us in this material world. We may take insurance, that insurance, this insurance, but all this insurance cannot ultimately protect us. They may compensate in the value through money, But the real protection only can come through the Supreme Lord. Nobody can give any protection in this world. Therefore, we should all, every one of us, we are all dependent on Krishna, whether we realize it or not. Hmm? So, because the material world is a dangerous place, there can always be some kind of harassment. Like Prahlad, here we see that's a. So we see here Hiranyakashipu, he tried to kill Prahlad in different ways. He put him under the legs of the elephants, he put in the pit of the poisonous snakes, and he did all kinds of magics and black magic and everything. Threw him from the top of the hill, right? Put him on the fire, put boulders on him. Like so many ways he tried to kill Prahlad, but Krishna was protected him completely. So nothing, Hiranyakashipu was really completely baffled that how this boy is protected. He became very anxious that he could not able to kill Prahlad because he had a, and that is what the mind does. Hmm? Even though the whole universe, everyone is ready to worship Hiranyakashipu, but his small 5 years and is not ready to accept his authority. And Hiranyakashipu was completely disturbed, but Prahlad, he was completely peaceful. Hmm. So Hiranyakashipu was in a complete state of despair that his plans did not work out to kill Prahlad. His Prahlad was saved by his own powers without being affected in the least. So Hiranyakashipu was becoming more and more anxious now. And then he concluded that he is like a dog's curved tail. A dog's curved tail can never be straightened, however much one tries. Same way, although he is a very near to me and is merely a child, he is situated in a complete fearlessness. Hmm. So that was creating all kinds of troubles in Hiranyakashipu's heart. So Prahlad, meanwhile, he was in touch with Krishna all the time. He became fearless. So he could understand that Krishna is protecting him. So there was no uh, cause for worriness. Hmm. So we see here, although Hiranyakashipu had so much of strength, but still he could not do any harm to Prahlad, who doesn't have any power at all. Hmm. But his power is Vishnu. The Lord's protection makes a devotee fearless, unharmed, and undefeated. So the lesson is what that we should understand if we take shelter of Krishna, there is nothing to be feared. Krishna will protect us. And the same case we see in the life of Prabhupada also. So at the age of 70, 65, 70, he took this great risk of his life to go to America. Everyone discouraged him that at this advanced stage you should not go to America. But yet Prabhupada took the risk because to execute the order of his guru. And he knows that by his guru's grace, Krishna's mercy will be there and he will be protected. So while traveling in the ship, he got 2 times heart attack. So many bodily difficulties he had, but there's no doctor, no medicine, nothing. But he simply depended on Krishna, and Krishna protected. So that is the complete conviction of the pure devotees that they are always in touch with the Supreme Lord. So they know that when they are always under the protection. So this is real protection for a devotee. Meanwhile, the servants of Hiranyakashipu, Shanda and Amarka, they said to Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyakashipu came to a conclusion that I cannot kill Prahlad, better I kill myself. So then Sanda and Amarka told that they encouraged Hiranyakashipu, you are so powerful, just by lifting your eyebrows, the whole world will tremble. Why are you getting in so much anxiety? Prahlad is just a small boy. When he grows up, he will, his heart will change. He will lose all his, don't take his words seriously, right? So don't worry about Prahlad. We will continue to teach him in matter of politics and other demonic subject matters, and he will change. So don't come to don't take any extreme situation, extreme steps. So Hiranyakashipu accepted, and he said to Shanda and Amarka, go and teach him all this about this demonic lessons. Teach him about this politics, teaching about the dharma, artha, kama, moksha, all these things. You go and teach him. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, there are two kinds of royal families. One is Prahlad, he wanted to become a Raja Rishi, whereas Hiranyakashipu wanted him to become a king attached to sense enjoyment. So one who is attached to the household life is called Grahamedi. We discussed this point earlier also. And Raja Rishis means they are not only kings, but they are also aware of the Rishis. I mean, they are spiritually also, they are well advanced. They know the Shastras. So Prahlad was such kind of devotee. He knows, although he was born to a demonic king, because of the association of Sri Narada Muni, he has developed all the divine qualities. So there is two opposite characters here. Hiranyakashipu is fully engrossed in household life, no spiritual knowledge at all. Whereas Prahlad, and he also capable of become a king, but he is full of all saintly qualities. So Hiranyakashipu was trying to change Prahlad. It is not possible. Because he is completely in the mode of, even above the mode of goodness. So Prabhupada writes in the purport that the Aryan system means there is a Varnashrama Dharma is there. In the Varnashrama Dharma, everyone should be educated according to his position in society's division Varna and Ashrama. So there are these four kinds of Varna and four kinds of Ashramas. So one has to uh, follow this guidance in the Varnashrama system, in the Vedic system. So for occupational duty, one can be a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra and do the respective duties. So Brahmanas, they are supposed to be a priestly class, teaching class people. They are supposed to teach about uh, rituals and about God consciousness to the general mass of people. That is their duty. Kshatriyas are supposed to rule the kingdom, taking the advice from the Brahmanas. Vaishyas, they are in the business community and give protection to the cows. And Shudras are the one who do all kinds of labor works for other three class of people. They have this all kinds of craftsmanship. They have all these skills. So for smooth running of the society, anyone according to the nature of their work they acquired, they can take any of these jobs. An ashrama, spiritual ashrama means one has from initial 25 years called brahmachari life, the next 25 years, 26 to 50 is grihastha ashram, 51 to 75 is vanaprastha and sannyas, the rest of the 25 years. If one can live up to 100 years. That is how the system works. So, but the ultimate aim is what? The education should everyone to perform the duty and progress spiritually, because not everyone is same, right? For a Brahmana, if he sees a blood, he will completely get totally annoyed. For a Kshatriya, he is to see the blood for is like a complete joyful, right? Like you see Bhishma, he makes this promise in Mahabharata, right? And also Bhima also, that I will smash Dushasan and drink the blood like that. So he has got the Kshatriya quality. So everyone has got certain quality. According to the quality, they will behave. So nobody can, a Brahmana cannot act like a Kshatriya or a Kshatriya cannot act like a Brahmana. So it is inherent quality every Jivatma has got. So nowadays there is so much of misunderstanding and misuse of the selective presentation of Sanatan Dharma, right? It is a hot topic, uh, but it has been misused by so many people, especially the politicians, for their own personal political purpose. So what does actually Sanatan Dharma means? Sanatan Dharma means this central teaching is every living being is spiritual. And Krishna or God, He resides in everyone's heart. So all souls are equally in spiritually, or they are all equal. And the life goal should be for self-realization and devotion to God. Qualities and actions are matter more than birth. So therefore, the scriptures repeatedly emphasize that spiritual equality is there. Even in Bhagavad Gita, 5th chapter, text number 18, Krishna says, that a learned scholar sees a brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater with an equal vision. This is the vision of a learned person. So, this is not a philosophy of hatred or superiority. It is a philosophy of spiritual unity. So, this Varna and Ashrama is based on the qualities. It is on the qualities one acquired. It is not meant for putting one class of people down uh, and classify that one class of people are higher, other class of people are lower. That is a wrong understanding. That's not what Sanatan Dharma teaches us. So this we need to understand. So yes, there could be some during some time. There could be some social discrimination, untouchability, hereditary caste rigidity, and oppression. It was happened sometime in the society, but that is not because of the system. That is because of wrong use of the philosophy from certain class of people. So that does not mean the whole system should be abolished. That's a wrong understanding. That is really not correct at all. So even if you see great personalities like Ramanujacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Nammarwad, there are many Arvas, they were all against that people are against rejected birth based on superiority. So so Mahaprabhu said, anyone who chants holy name of Krishna is spiritually exalted. So in the Bhakti tradition, it's emphasized that devotion is open to everyone. Everyone is equal in front of God. Krishna himself teaches in Bhagavad Gita that anyone who takes shelter of Krishna, whether born in of any family, they are all they will all be delivered. That is a guarantee Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna does not judge by birth. Krishna sees the devotion hints everyone's heart. So spiritual qualification is universal. So why do then some politicians attack Sanatan Dharma? Because they want to mislead the people. They want to create a kind of faithlessness among the people. That is their inner agenda. Their agenda is to split people and gain votes and come to power. That is what these people are into. because people are not generally are not aware of this subject matters thoroughly. So they think that they can brainwash the people and make these people against this tradition. So that is the aim of these people. Therefore, one should not uh, respecting Sanatan Dharma. We should understand that we should appreciate that the spiritual wisdom, the philosophical teaching, and the contribution it has done to the culture. So these things should be recognized, not that it should be abolished. That is all nonsense. So people should be aware. We should know, understand, and what is our culture, what is Sanatan Dharma, what is Varnasrama, why is it given. These things should be understood properly because they want to cheat, they want to deceive the people. They want, because people are under ignorance, and they, and by this propagating this again and again, this kind of statements, they think that people can be brainwashed. Hmm? So genuine Sanatan Dharma teaches what every soul is part of God. Humility is greater than pride. Devotion is greater than birth. Compassion is essential. So Prahlad Maharaj also, he teaches in Bhagavatam that material pride binds people while devotion purifies the heart. So there should not be any anger or hatred. So therefore a constructive response should be, if some people misuse religion for discrimination, that misuse should be corrected. But Sanatan Dharma itself teaches spiritual equality, self-realization, compassion, and devotion to Krishna. So it should be understood that uh, that one should not misuse. So therefore, we should have a honest approach, balanced approach, and respectful towards the bona fide path of the Sanatan Dharma. And Prabhupada writes in the purport, a devotee is always above mundane qualities. So Hiranyakashipu, he was attached to sense enjoyment. Therefore, he was completely taken over by his ego, anger and greed, lust and greed. And therefore it is completely blinded him. Wanted to take extreme step of killing his own son. Whereas Prahlad, he was completely about the modes of sattva, rajas, and tama. He was even about the mode of goodness. So therefore, for him actually there is no duty at all because he is completely, and this Varnashrama Dharma is for people who are under the modes of sattva guna and rajoguna and tamoguna. But Prahlad, because he is a pure devotee, he is above even the mode of goodness. So therefore, he cannot be changed. For him, there is no duty at all, actually. Because ultimately, what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, after telling Arjuna so many dharmas are there, finally, what he is saying, Sarvadharman Parityatya Mamekam Saranam Raja. Forget about all dharma. Because the purpose of following all dharma, Kshatriya dharma, Brahmana dharma, Vaishya dharma, Sudra dharma, is to what? Ultimately, one has to surrender to Krishna. So those are all stepping stones to reach Krishna. And if somebody is already in the highest stage of surrendering to the Supreme Lord, his life is dedicated to preaching Krishna consciousness. He is Bhagavad, he is following Bhagavad Dharma. So he is above all the dharmas, in fact. So that is what we are supposed to do. One is supposed to not get stuck up in this different kinds of Varna and Ashtama. You should understand what is the purpose. Following the purpose of Varnashrama is to come to the stage where one can surrender to Krishna fully, and that's what is required. Hmm. So some people, they get attached to their occupational duties, and then that's why there is a system in Varnashrama Dharma that you cannot be doing your material duties till the end of your life. At the age of 50, you are supposed to retire. That's why the retirement is there from all your duties, material duties. If you are a grahastha, your family duty is supposed to finish at the age of 50, and you should spend rest of your time, dedicate your service to serve Krishna, to do your spiritual duty. But nowadays people, they want to work till the end of their life. They're saying that they think, consider that is what highest thing. But that's not recommended in the scriptures. The scripture says that whatever duty, because in this Kali Yuga, no one is following any Varnashrama Dharma properly, because Kalau Shudra Sambhava. In Kali Yuga, everyone is Shudra only, because the Brahmana means what? He is supposed to, he cannot work for anyone else. He only serve the Lord. But today, there is no real Brahmanas, because everyone is going to factory, office and working. So, for the namesake only, some may be called as Brahmana, but duty is something a Shudra work only, right? So, that way, that's why this in Kali Yuga, it is not possible to follow this Varnashrama Dharma. So, the Devi Varnashrama system is there, that whatever duty you do, you connect back to Krishna. That means you do this duty for the as a service to Krishna. So if you are a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, whatever you do, but you utilize that skill or whatever the fruits of your work, the money, whatever you are getting in the service of Krishna and become a devotee. So that is what practical in this Kali Yuga. Hmm? So today's Kali Yuga, the Varnashrama system is completely gone. Nobody can follow this thing because there is no brahmachari life. Where is the brahmachari life? In brahmachari life, one is supposed to completely learn scriptures, but where is this? Where no one knows what is Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam? Where is the teaching? So therefore, it is not possible. But we have to understand that ultimately, following all this Varnashrama Dharma is to become a devotee, pure devotee of Krishna. And that's what Krishna wants. He's saying, Arjuna, you get up and you give up all varieties of dharma and surrender to me. So that's what Krishna wants. So one should come to that stage. So one is a grahastha, then yes, he is supposed to finish all his family duties and give this rest of his life for serving Krishna. He should preach boldly, give spiritual knowledge to all the people. And that is what lacking in society. And because of that lacking, the whole society is in trouble. People don't know how to become happy. They are trying in all kinds of illicit ways to become happy in this material world. Instead of becoming happy, they are becoming hippies. Now they are addicted to drugs, sex, like this. Today's youth are like that only. So one may, like government, they take action to close the liquor shop. They can close the liquor shop, but they cannot change the habits of the people, right? They will go and buy somewhere and drink it. So how can you stop such people? Unless the behavior is changed, you cannot stop people from drinking or smoking habits because it has been taught, you know. The same people who are now taking the post, they themselves have encouraged people to do all these things. And how they can suddenly stop people? It is a humbug. It's a total hypocrisy, actually. Today, you may talk like a big saintly person sitting in position, but the same thing you have made the people to follow you. So those people are like blind people. They cannot bring, although they talk so many things that they will do good people, they cannot do. Only the devotees can bring changes in society. And that can be done by people who understand they properly to get this knowledge and teach to other people. So that is what that's what Prahlad, that's why we should understand the Prahlad Maharaj teachings nicely. If we just understand these teachings and practice it and preach to others, it will change a revolution in people's life. And that's what Prabhupada did. So the whole Bhagavatam is like that. So therefore, all the problems in the society can be solved only if everyone takes up reading Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam and practically apply in your life. And that is the only solution. All other solution are only stopgap solution. You try to shut one door, another door will open, and that will happen, right? So the drug problem, this alcohol problem, this addiction to the uh, all kinds of this social media, all these things, everyone can cry and everyone can make big noises, but they don't have any solution at all. Only Bhagavatam has solution. Only devotional service to Krishna can solve all this problem. This we should be convinced. And this is what people need. This is the real medicine for all the disease of the society. Unless people who are leaders who understand this thing, there cannot be any solution at all. Like Hiranyakashipu, he cannot understand this. He is trying. He is a demon. He does it a demonic quality. So such kind of leaders are only today in society. Be there be a politician or whatever post. Therefore, it is very important for us to some or other people should understand this knowledge of Bhagavatam. These teachings of Prahlad Maharaj is very essential. Mhm. So, whatever one's occupation duty, as we discussed, one should finally give it up and surrender to Krishna because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Jivere Swarupohoy Krishna Nityadas. That our constitutional position itself is what? Real position is each Jivatma is a servant of Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mamevamso Jivaloke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. Every living entity is an eternal servant of Krishna. This is the conclusion we should come. Hmm. So unless one comes to this conclusion and dedicate his life for serving Krishna, there is no real peace for himself nor in the society. So Sanda and Amarka, they try to teach Prahlad, gives all kind of mundane religious duties, economic development, and how to gratify the senses. They try to teach him. So that's the modern education system. The modern education system, what they are trying to teach, yeah, work hard like an animal, like a donkey, earn a lot of money, try to enjoy your senses as much as possible. That's it. That's the goal of life. No spiritual knowledge, no idea of about Atma, no idea of about any spiritual subject matters. That is the modern educational system. Unfortunately, people are caught up in this. They think that every parent is thinking the career, material career is the life goal. They will spend lakhs and crores of rupees to get admission to the college, send them to foreign countries to educate, get good job, but they are not bothered whether the children has any spiritual education or not. So what kind of result you can expect from these people? People, I know so many people who have sent the children to America. They don't want to take care of the old parents. The old parents are uh, all these kinds of societies where they take care of old age homes. They don't want to come and take care of any duty, spiritual duty, any duty for their parents. Their only aim is to take money and enjoy life. Hmm. So these kind of things is imbalanced. I'm not saying you should not educate them. You educate them, but you educate simultaneously on spiritual subject matter also. If you are giving only material education and not giving any spiritual education, then the result is going to be disastrous. And that's what the modern education system. This Sanda and Amarka, they are the teachers of modern education system. That's all. His descendants are there in plenty. That is the main problem in today's society. The society is imbalanced. Nobody is talking about anything spiritual education at all. Therefore, the values are coming down. Hmm. So, the Vedic process is for human society, right? Dharma, Artha, Kama, the Veda, the Bhagavatam or the Vedic scripture, they are not saying you should be only this Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha is included. So if one follows the scriptural rules and regulations, all these things are taken care when you follow the Vedas, guidance of the Vedas. But without that, people are living, they think that they can do anything, whatever they feel like. Just do whatever you think. That is a very dangerous life. Hmm? So the Vedas know, Vyasadeva knows all these things. That's why he has given in the Vedas what is Dharma, what one should do. This Varnashrama system is that only, so that you can have all these things, all the happiness of this life at the same time, you can attain spiritual perfection also. It is so scientific, but people don't want to follow all these things. So therefore, they are in difficulties. Hmm. So ultimately, we should cross beyond this dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. One should become a pure devotee of the Lord. Because only by becoming a pure devotee of the Lord is guarantee. Yadgatva na nivartante tadham parama mama. That once you become a pure devotee of Krishna, then you go back to Krishna, and there is no material suffering. You don't come back again to this miserable material world. Hmm? So without that is not possible. Therefore, one should come to the stage of becoming, of doing pure devotion to Krishna. So Sanda and Amarka, they try to give all kinds of material signs without Krishna, without knowledge of Krishna, because they themselves they are not aware, right? So as long as you are giving only material education, you are supposed to be in the cycle of birth and death. There is no, and therefore Prahlad Maharaj did not like, because they did not teach anything about devotion to Vishnu. But Prahlad was naturally a born pure devotee. So therefore, Sanda and Amarka's teachings were not accepted by Prahlad. So Prahlad, therefore, Prabhupada writes in the purport, the world is interested in materialistic life. 99.9% are uninterested in liberation or spiritual education. Prabhupada writes in the purport. Hmm. So they are busy with all these materialistic duties. Throughout the day, they are busy. No time for any spiritual knowledge, gaining spiritual knowledge. That is how spiritual life is all about. So Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita that those who are faithless in the process of devotional, all their efforts will be ruined, befooled, and they will be in the cycle of birth and death. They cannot escape. So people should not be foolish that thinking that I become a very great person, earn a lot of money, have good bank balance, good power, fame, all these things. That is what my goal of life. If somebody is thinking like that, he is totally mistaken. So one is supposed to uh, spiritually grow, understand this also. Then only there is chance for him. Therefore, the Srimad Bhagavatam says, don't follow the blind leaders who cannot give you direction. Follow the Mahajanas. Who are the Mahajanas? These 12 people are the Mahajanas. It is Bhagavatam says, Lord Brahma, Narada Muni, Shiva, Lord Shiva, Kumaras, Kapila Muni, Prahlad Maharaj, Janak Maharaj, Bhishma, Bali Maharaj, Sukadev Goswami, Yamaraj, and the Manus. Hmm? These are the people, these are the Mahajanas we should follow. Hmm? Their teachings we should follow. And how do we get the what is that teaching? They have to study Srimad Bhagavatam for that. Hmm? Swayambhu Narada Sambhu Kumaro Kapilo Manuhu Prahlado Janako Bhishmo Balirvaya Sakirvayam. Who is saying this? Yamaraj. Yamaraj is saying that we should follow these Mahajanas, 12 Mahajanas, who knows actually what is the principles of real religion. But in today's society, everyone follows someone or other. Right? Some people follow the political leaders, some people follow the sports personalities, some people follow their their ancestors, like that. Everyone has got some role models, but actually you can only get liberated only when you follow the Mahajanas. So these are the people we should follow. And their teachings are given in Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, reading Srimad Bhagavatam is very, very essential. And now today Purushottam month is going on. This is a very auspicious month, starting from yesterday, 17th, I think. 17th, um, this 1 month is it's a very, very auspicious month. Any spiritual activity you do, it multiplies 1,000 times. Therefore, one should spend more time in chanting, hearing, and reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Hmm. So, what happened is that since Prahlad is not interested, but so when the teachers they went for lunch time, they get some free time. All his boys, friends of Prahlad, they asked Prahlad to come and play with him. But Prahlad Maharaj was not interested because he's already a spiritually matured. Although he was only a small child, he was spiritually is highly elevated. So he was not interested at all. Instead, he said that when he heard, he smiled at them and then he said that let's use this time to hear and speak about Sri Krishna, which is more important than playing. Hmm. Generally, children are very fond of playing, right? But Prahlad, he told them, you can utilize your time in a better way. Let's hear about Krishna. So that was his teaching. So he gathered all his friends and started teaching about the Supreme Lord. Hmm. So he made them to hear about Krishna Katha, and all the children were amazed to hear from Prahlad. So naturally, all of them liked Prahlad very much. So Prahlad taught them that actually real happiness is advancement in Krishna consciousness. By serving Krishna, only any if anyone wants to be really happy, that he should know, he should surrender, he should do devotional service to Krishna. That is the real way to become happy. Otherwise, in the materialistic way, that no one can become happy by following the materialistic way of life. So that is the ultimate teaching that Prahlad was telling his friends, that if you want to be really happy, then you glorify Krishna, chant his holy name. Hmm? So we should be convinced that our material position without Krishna does not give us happiness at all. So that does not mean that we should not give up our duty. You may earn money, you can do all your duties, family duties, everything is fine, provided you utilize all your talents and skills to serve Krishna. That is the ultimate thing. So everything connect back to Krishna. So devotional service means that doesn't mean that you should become a pauper. That is not what he's saying. So we have great kings like Parikshit Maharaj, Yudhishthir Maharaj. They were all great, great kings. They had all kinds of opulence. They had kingdom, they have money, they have people, but they were also great devotees of the Lord. So it doesn't matter whether you are a Gragastha, Brahmachari, or Vanaprastha, Sannyasi, or a Brahmana, or a Shudra, or a Kshatriya, or a Vaishya. But what is matter is that what you are doing, are you utilizing all your skills in the service of Krishna? That's what it matters. So if everyone follows their respective duty and ultimately become a devotee of Krishna, then the whole problem is solved. Hmm? So therefore, there is a great need in the society to teach people to become Krishna conscious. We need millions of teachers who can teach the path of Bhagavad Dharma to people, because people are suffering and they don't know how to become happy. And therefore, we have to understand the science of Krishna consciousness and teach people, give them guidance. This is how you become Krishna. This is how you become Krishna conscious. This is how we need to serve Krishna, and that's very simple, very easy in this Kali Yuga. Hmm. All we need to do is chant Hare Krishna, associate with devotees, and take Krishna Prasad. Is it very difficult in Kali Yuga? Not at all. Only the we need to proper consciousness, acceptance is required. So the children were very much, because the children, they were not polluted, they are still in the learning stage, so they could able to uh, understand what Prahlad is saying. So they became so affectionate to Prahlad. And because they are pure hearted, they are not still contaminated, but therefore they could able to easily accept what Prahlad is saying. Whereas Hiranyakashipu, we saw that his Prahlad's words were like a hot tempered sharp arrows for his ears. But here we see the children are so innocent. They could appreciate Prahlad. They can immediately accept what Prahlad saying. They were able to see, accept Krishna. Whereas Hiranyakashipu is supposed to be a great king. So, but then he could not accept what Prahlad is saying. So therefore, we are going to, from next class, we will see what actually he taught the children, his schoolmates, what is his teachings. That we will see from the next class. Okay. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Pranam
Let's
ji,
stop.
thank you very much. Pranam, pranam. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anything you want to share, comments or questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Prahlad Maharaj didn't was just 5 years old. He didn't have enough strength, so he didn't attack or defend himself. He just sat and he was a devotee of Krishna. What would he do if he was an adult like Arjuna and he was powerful?
What he will do?
Because what he would have done, because we are all Hiranyakashipu's Prabhuji, like we are having the qualities of him. Now, by God's grace, with ISKCON's association, we are just starting to learn, trying to learn what actual, spiritual consciousness is, God, Krishna consciousness is. So
Mm,
demons will attack us like this, but we are adults.
yeah,
So what he would have done,
yeah.
what
So
Prahalad
Krishna,
Maharaj would
yeah.
have done.
First is, now because we are in this age of Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught us in this age. So our process is always through chanting Hare Krishna, because if we have to kill the demonic mentality of Hiranyakashipu, then we have to kill everyone. As you said, everyone has got the mentality of Hiranyakashipu. So that is not possible. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught us the process of killing the demonic mentality. What is required is Prahlad had, even though Prahlad is, Hiranyakashipu was torturing Prahlad, Prahlad had full love for Hiranyakashipu. He did not hate him. So later we will find when Narasimhadev asked for some boon, what he asked, he said that please deliver my father. That was his love. So, although externally, if the demons are attacking us through various ways, but still the devotees are compassionate with everyone. So, Prahlad, what he would have done, he would not have attacked or used his martial power or anything, but still he will teach the same thing until to Hiranyakashipu. If
Hare
someone other,
Krishna. But
yeah.
Prabhu, the whole Bhagavad Gita was Krishna told Arjuna to do his duty.
Hmm.
Fighting as a Kshatriya, fighting was a duty.
Yeah.
So, what was Prahlad Maharaj's duty? Like, he shouldn't have attacked?
There is no need to attack because he knows that Hiranyakashipu was actually acting out of ignorance and he knows very well that he is under the protection of Krishna, so nothing can harm him. So ultimately, what you cannot attack a person and make him the ultimate goal is what everyone should become a devotee, right? So if by attacking if that person is going to become a devotee, that's what we need to ask ourselves. So we have
But
to use our
In Kurukshetra, the war was fought, no, Prabhuji.
yeah, war was fought because that was under the instruction of Krishna. And Krishna, what he did, he also did so many things to avoid the war, right? He went as a messenger. He asked only to give 5 pieces of land, five villages.
Villages.
So the whole aim was trying to avoid violence, but it was inevitable. Then Krishna told him to do. So if that situation comes under the superior instruction, we can do. But in general, the devotee does not want to harm anyone. That is the general attitude that we discussed here. That Trinadapi Sunichena means what? That one should become a humbler than a blade of grass. So that doesn't mean that we are weak people. So we have to do in Kali Yuga, what we need to do is we need to educate people. That itself is enough. So this all kind of demonic mentality, this anti-dharmic group people, their voice will be subdued if people become devotees of Krishna, because the power is with them now. We don't have any power, right? So, and the people does not know, and they are electing such kind of people in the power, and then they are suffering it. And that disease, root cause of disease has to be addressed, and that is only possible if we teach everyone to take up devotional service and give this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So Prahlad Maharaj would not have done anything to Hiranyakashipu physically. He would have tried to teach him the same thing. And anyway, so there will be always some demands. No amount of teaching will go to the head. So the Lord has a plan how to remove them, like how Narasimhadev came and removed Hiranyakashipu. Same way, these demons will be removed in due course of time by the Lord's plan. Okay, but as a duty, so, as a duty for us, for a common people like us, now what we need to do is we need to take up devotional service seriously and give this knowledge to others. And that will destroy the mentality of Hiranyakashipu's mentality in people. That we need to understand. Otherwise, if everyone started taking weapons and attack, then it will be another Kurukshetra. So that is not,
Everywhere Sangha and Amarkas only are there, Prabhuji.
sorry?
Even everywhere Sanda and Amarka only are there.
Yeah,
Teachers,
Sandha and Amarka
like
are there. Yes, yes, you are correct. So therefore, that's why I'm saying we have to increase the number of devotees. Devotees should take up this position. Devotees should take up all the teaching positions. Devotees should take the judiciary system also, the judges. Bhaktivinoda Thakur predicted if a Vaishnava comes to the Supreme Court judge, that means that is a time where the society will change, because now what is happening, these corrupt politicians, they are doing all kind of nonsense, they are doing all kind of atrocities because they think that they cannot be brought to justice and they can do whatever they feel like. So that system we need to break it. So our devotees, if devotees take up all this kind of profession, and they should utilize it for Krishna's service, then these people will be brought to justice. So we need to do a lot of things. That's why I said we need millions of preachers are required. Devotees are required. We should not keep quiet. We should spread the message. We should distribute Prabhupada books. We should ask them to read Prabhupada books. So if people started reading Prabhupada books, then they will get the knowledge. So we should try to do that one. That is what we should do now. That way the society will change. Because now we have come very, very far from the ideal situation. Because of Kali Yuga, the demons are more in population. The devotees are very, very less. So that we need to change.
For the younger generation, a wrong signal, everything is they are understanding in a different manner. At least, we pass the time, like, we are 50s now. Younger
Hmm.
generation is not
Yeah,
in that
because they have been brainwashed by so many media. First, the social media is there. Second, they go to the school where there is no talk about spirituality. So their brain is already washed. So they are brainwashed to follow this demonic society principles. So that is very difficult. That is why it is very worrisome for that as devotee parents. Actually, that's why in one of these teachings, what we are going to see next week, he says, Kaumara Acharya Pragno. One should teach Bhagavad philosophy right from the tender age of 5. So that we missed it. So that is the main problem. So anyway, we should try our best.
this should be included, Prabhuji, in the syllabus.
Exactly. Yes,
This
yes, you
should
are
be
correct.
this should be included.
Yes, yes. That's why these people, politicians, they don't allow that one. They know that one. If people become God conscious, then they cannot cheat the people, and they will not get the vote to come to power. So that's why they are opposing all these things. Some or other, that's why ISKCON is trying to do that one. That's why to educate people on this thing. That's why we want to distribute books and we want to some or other make people to understand this message of Bhagavad Gita, which is one Bhagavatam. So that is what we need to do. We don't have much support. So if some of you can you can ask devotees to come or some place if you have, you conduct this, you give them opportunity to come and preach and invite people to hear. That will be a great use for all of us because our not every people are able to come to a particular center because we need hundreds of like how many schools are there, we need lot of places where teaching centers is required. So if you have any space or if you know or in your own house or anyone, please invite the devotees, gather some people, give these books and ask them to read Prabhupada books. That is the best thing we can do, all of you. Okay,
Sure, sure.
wherever you are, please help us. All of us want to do this seva. They don't have any selfish interest. All we want to do is save people of Kali Yuga. There is a selfless service devotees wants to do. So if you can assist the devotees in some way or other, that will be of great help, all of you.
And for us also, it is helpful, though,
Yeah,
Prabhuji.
definitely, definitely. Right.
Hare Krishna,
So
Prabhu, I
thank
just
you.
want to add one more thing to Jyoti Mataji's query. In ISKCON, we do have children preaching program, and there are so many online programs are going on, and offline
Hmm.
also going. I can share the details in the group if you know any kids or even your own children or grandchildren, they all can take part. So this is like a weekly spiritual supplement for them, apart from their academics. So many kids are getting benefited because of this. I'll share the details.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
We should utilize all this. Now, I mean, it's difficult to travel also nowadays, but now we can utilize all this technology. Now, in that way also people can be preached. Yeah. So thank you very much once again for joining. Hare Krishna. Hope we'll see you next week, same time. Continue with Prahlad's teachings to his schoolmates. Okay? Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam Grandaraj ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya, Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji. Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you,
And
Prabhuji. Thank you.